let's just get this going. How about we just get this going? Hi, everybody. It's Saturday. I don't have as big of a window to stream today. Just have evening things happening. But I have a little bit of time. So, I'm gonna just go ahead and jump in. I'd like to maybe finish this case today, the episode 3 case. So we'll see if we can. Be safe. Alright, let's see. So we're finally gonna see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. Hi, Christy. Yeah, thank you all for being here. Terror, Christy, Moocher, Puffy. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're gonna need. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe. What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, Little Miss Topknot. It's not a topknot! Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kind of get wound up. Ah! No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back town to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. Hello, hello. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Probably this. If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey! That's a small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. So why didn't you already analyze this? Thoughts on this case so far? I don't love the characters, but I have been doing way better, typically, at making connections and understanding the plot twists right before they happen. So I don't know if that's just that I think the story is told and revealed better, or if I am just doing better in this case. This is your least favorite of all time? I don't think anything will be worse to me than the Big Top Circus one. So I wouldn't say that I'm loving this case, but I'm also not hating this case. And I think it's simply just because I feel like my personal brain performance has been better in this case than others. Oh, I see. I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. How would... So my question for... Oh my. So my question for the judge here is, so it's already established that this guy has framed or impersonated Phoenix in court to this judge, right? So would the judge not realize, looking at this man, that he's seen this man before, and he is in fact not Phoenix Wright, which means the previous court, like, case and verdict should be dismissed as, you know, false or whatever. Ah! Don't hide under the table, Maya, unless there's room for me down there, too. Would you mind? What'd you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest. Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, ya hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it, we're doomed. Maybe yous didn't hear me. I said, who was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Ugh. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't ya? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. What the flip, Phoenix? Why would you say that, buddy? Get a grip, Nick. Yeah, no kidding. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tenda Linda every single day. Yous want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Oh, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, please. Ugh! What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. Hi, Arox. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're having a good day. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000 and you's gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And I don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. So does this mean I can't press this guy? I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You's better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. I'm doing okay. Have some life things going on, but I'm doing okay. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you? Okay, I'm gonna save because I really don't understand... what I am about to be penalized for, so... So I'm wondering, if he says he knows nothing about the incident, then how would he know that it took place in December? You know what I mean? Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather, sketchy schedule. Ugh. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder, so now what? Mr. Tigre, what do you want? Frick. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid afore. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please... Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Do I have anything? That says he'd never seen that kid before. I guess this. Or this. Because this was in his office. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glen Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elg, because on that very day of the incident, you met with him. I have like an itch on like the back of my shoulder and it's like driving me nuts. Not bad. You's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with yous to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without, plus he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You's calling me a liar? Is that what you doing? Ruh-roh. So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You's better believe that's the truth. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness? He never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, 10 to lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I ain't never even been to that Tribulations joint. He is here? No, I think that I need to use the match book. I want to know how he got his teeth so sharp. Some people, like, go get them, like, cosmetically filed to be more like fangs, which is probably not healthy or comfortable, but I've heard of that. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Yeah, I'd imagine so. Or, like, even just, like, your lips. Like, depending on how, like, your bite sat, you know? Because, like, some people have, like, overbite or underbite or whatever. I'd imagine you could, like, hurt places in your mouth. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, right? Yeah, that would be painful. Alright. We're gonna do a nice little save. And since I don't seem to be able to press a lot, I'm going to present the Tribulations matchbook here. Oh, I forgot to turn my timer. I need to switch from the save one to the blind one. Man, I'm on it. Mr. Tigray, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you was talking about? We found them in your office at Tenderlender. They're from that restaurant. Yeah, isn't that funny? If you've really never been to Tribulations before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around in my stuff now, too, wise guy. What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Order, order. Did he just call Phoenix a broad? Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Ugh. Sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. What? See, in a real court, he should immediately be dismissed as having any sort of reliable testimony because he has lied multiple times. And you can't use the ruse of, I was just seeing how good you were at your job. Like, please. But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Why Tigray gotta tell the truth when nobody else does? That's true, I guess. At least the witnesses are consistently unreliable in this game. Well, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elg that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if... Hold on. Stiff as concrete? It takes a little bit of time for a body to start to stiffen after death. Like, at least an hour, right? I'm not a coroner or work in a funeral home, so maybe I'm incorrect. But I doubt he showed up 4 hours later. Like, I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out and I went straight back to my office. Yeah, but I need to know what time that was for you. I see, you didn't actually meet with him in the end then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Huh. No problem. Anytime Trite presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. The special express ain't cheap, right? Just so yous know, since yous payin'. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Nope. Okay. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant. Okay, let's see. Let me look at my evidence real quick. I feel like this disc needs to come into play somehow. Internet says starting around 2 after, finishing after. So yeah, there's absolutely no way that Glen Elg's body would have been stiff, even if this man was telling the truth about coming in after he was dead. Which he's obviously not telling the truth, but... When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. Maybe this is the line. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. This one's a little bit tricky. This one's feeling tricky. Did I save? Okay, yeah. The place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. See, I don't know if the stiff as concrete means anything, or like if that's the weird line, or if he's just being dramatic, because this character is so dramatic. I'm supposed to meet with a kid at the restaurant that afternoon. Trying to think. Okay, let's go through it. Let's pretend that we're going through it. Contact Run DMC because it's tricky. That's the Run DMC is like the artist of a song called It's Tricky, right? I want to say it's just dramatic, but I can double check. Okay, yeah. That would be helpful. I just don't want to spend too much time like focusing on something that's not really relevant. Okay, so let's walk through it. Let's pretend we're here. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. Okay, oh, it's afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. Okay, so what do you see when you walk in? The register, host stand. Then there's like a wall. And if Glenn was sitting right there, he wouldn't have seen it immediately, right? He would have had to walk in. Oh, it's afternoon, yeah. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. So you couldn't see that from opening the door. He would have had to walk in, but maybe again, maybe I'm focusing on the wrong thing. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. Yeah, there's like a wall thing. So you couldn't see that from the door. Yeah. Yeah, definitely could not. Okay, thank you for confirming. Now I feel like it's this. Because there's no way he could have seen Glenelg from the door. He would have seen the bottom tables from the door, but he could not see Glenn. So... Oh, I don't know if this is true, but I'm gonna try. Well, the music stopped. You're something of a lone collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigray? No one escapes the Taiga's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie-detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Wright? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigray? From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. No, there's a wall. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. What? That's true. Now, look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him. Objection. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. Objection. But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenelg, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenelg and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal... Oh crap, I can't save. To the court. This seems too obvious. This seems too obvious. Why does this thing keep opening up? Sorry. Like my chat bot keeps like opening up. Close, please. Okay. This seems too obvious. But I don't think that it was... I don't think this guy's really anywhere relevant other than to give us backstory for Viola or whatever. I think Viola was impersonating Maggie because with the picture, her hair is longer and more. And I think Mr. Armstrong, as much as I don't believe his identity for a speck, I guess it could be him. But I don't know. I do have a little bit of wiggle room. I'm gonna just do the obvious thing. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Okay, it seems like it's working. Now that's cute. Yous think you can pin this on the tiger. Maybe yous don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dares you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts? You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigray. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright. Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godot? Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see the victim. Oh, no.
The servant girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Objection! Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Found your pen at last, Trite? It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed 2 people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? Okay, this one's easy again to me. I think it must be Viola. Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tinderlender. You's making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You'd better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following.
Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. And she had a kind of cackling laugh.
There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when the eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There is only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real, and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you. It all adds up! I never been good at math, but this equation makes sense. Witness, what have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? You's alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? You's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you's missed out one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you's here? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre? What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're gonna need another one for the road. So who's brewing all these cups for him? Is that like his secretary's job? She's just constantly brewing coffee? One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim? I don't like this guy's face, dude. Yeah, I loaned Elg cash, about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. He's a witch! Yeah. A coffee witch. Coffee witch actually sounds like a cozy, like Halloween-themed, like, game. You know what I mean? It's like, You have, it's like you live in Halloween Town and you have like, you're like a barista. You're the coffee witch. And you can put like cutesy little magic in there. Or whatever, I don't know. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know. Real lucky. Welcome back. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Elg was $50,000. Yeah, well, you's got the vig? You've got the what? Hang on. Googling. Vig definition. Vigorish? Oh, okay. An excessive rate of interest on a loan. Typically one from an illegal moneylender. Or the percentage deducted from a gambler's winnings by the organizers of a game. Vigorish. Okay. Look at me. In my 30s and still learning vocab. Okay. Makes sense. You've got the vig to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know? That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice as principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question? Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? I think the motive is actually that disc. Wait, he's still contradicting himself because he says he loaned him $100,000. But that's not true. He loaned him $50,000. What is up with my bot, dude? It keeps, like, opening up. Huh? Hang on, I'm gonna close my bot and reopen it. Sorry. It keeps doing this weird thing where it like opens up as like the top thing, and then all of the text is like weirdly like formatted and colored goofy. I don't understand. Okay. Now my chat's not showing up. Oh, okay, there it goes. Alright, I think we're okay now. Hopefully. I might just turn the bot off if it continues to act that way. Okay, I'm scared to, like... I want to press some of these, but I don't want to get penalized for it. Did he have any way of paying the loan back? The fool was a gambler. He said he couldn't give it up till he landed a big win. So I agreed to help him. Help him? You? I kept hitting him with ideas for ways he could get a big win. But the guy kept losing. So you were helping him for his sake or yours? Win through compromise. Yous help me, I help yous. What's the difference, huh? I don't believe this. Nick, would anyone really ever loan money to someone they thought was unreliable? Like, for example, if it were you, I'd only loan you $5 max. Thanks a lot, Maya. Okay, well, at least we didn't get penalized for that. That's nice. The other thing I want to ask about is what he means when he says if the waitress hadn't done what she'd done. So hopefully I won't get penalized for this either. The waitress, you mean the girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair? Who else could I mean? If she hadn't got in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. Ask about what Maggie did, or ask how things would have been. Well, we know what the story has been about what she did. But what does this mean? Ask how things would have been? Like if she hadn't? What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. I was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. Thank you. Tiger's motive, huh? I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy. I'm thinking hard. Very right now. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after.
Objection.
What are you getting at, Wright? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. Computer? What does one of those do? Guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that's from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Several $1 million? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Glenn Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection.
You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program? Exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, right? A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? Oh, the bills, the hospital bills. He was gonna pay her grandfather for the hospital bills. When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tigre need money to the tune of $1 million? In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. How much of this do you know? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. $1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs. Wow, nice! No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Order, order, order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger, unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenelg's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenelg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't. And neither can I. Lottery win? Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least no legitimate way. So, he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glenelg, and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Folger's crystals! Instant coffee and death! Mr. Tigre posed as Glenelg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection.
Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. That's not true, because the chef is in debt to him too. But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000 in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Order, order, silence or I will clear... You's put on a good show, Spiky. If yous want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone. If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? It better be that. I need Gumshoe back. Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? Ooh, this is worth 4. What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? It was posing as me, wasn't it? It was posing as me. If Didney made coffee, he'd probably make it with death. Why do you say that? Because he kills all of us on the Oregon Trail? Death and flies. Oh, I'm not sure if this is correct, but I feel like The trick he performed to frame the accused was to act as me and get her declared guilty. Oh, the shot cake. I didn't save, dude. Please be correct. What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you standing in here this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen. Ugh. Ugh. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? I don't know what's about to happen, so... Hey, forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir?
Objection.
This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court, we deal with people's lives. Mr. Godot is right. Your Honor? Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. No! If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far! You say he impersonated Glenelg. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. I need that poison bottle back! Huh. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger or you're gonna get mauled. You's got that? All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit, but I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I had just one more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. Yeah, where is Gumshoe? This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre.
Objection!
Hold it. Your Honor, sir. Wait! Yay! Got me to the rescue. Detective? Detective Gumshoe. Sorry I took so long, pal. I suddenly don't... I for real can't... I, can't go from the Jersey accent to the Southern accent. My brain, cannot compute. I staked everything on this. There we go. My badge. The works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this, too. What is it, detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What? Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle? Oh, so? Do you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So, tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, all right. That's great! We've got him now, Nick! What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. But this is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Elg's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This is our last chance to help Maggie, and I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Detective Gumshoe? Maggie? You've been working on something for me?
Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now.
Detective Gumshoe, wait!
He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Oh yeah, it's the medicine, not the poison. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Thank Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are yous gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But yous lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. Inconclusive, yeah. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. But maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Ah, frick, I couldn't save again. I don't know what to do. Oh, man. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like they're trying to convince me that this is not important, but it actually could be important. I also am still convinced that something about Mr. Armstrong is not revealed yet. This is gonna hurt me a lot if I... Okay. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victim's... Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre. What? But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains. Except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. Okay. My prints are on that pansy-looking bottle? Is that what you're saying? Well, what the heck's in it anyway? A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... Should I lie to the court? I feel like I understand the process here. Like, Phoenix is gonna say something incorrect about the evidence so that Furio Tigre is like, what? Oh my god! Or whatever. But, it seems like it's not legal to lie to a witness about evidence that you already know the truth about. So... I don't understand, but I just saved. I'll save again. This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? You'd make a good clown, you know that? What? Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. Yous just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool a tiger? Uh-oh, did I mess up for real? A bluff? I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No, this is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the tiger or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. Oh, he's gonna admit that he knows what the cyanide bottle looks like, right? Oh, the clown. The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it. Oh, thank you for admitting. Got him. At last. What? Why is everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you ain't gonna find that my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor, tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out. Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You don't know who's yous messing with. I'm the tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me? Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all. Got him! What's going on? It looks like a blackout. Well done, Trite. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. But if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigray, Mr. Godot? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenelg, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Furio Tigray is a truly frightening criminal. Huh. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Godot. I couldn't tell if that was like a compliment or like... Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant Maggie Bird not guilty! Yeah! Is he hitting on you? Does Miles know? I don't know. That is all. The court is adjourned. Alright, now we got all the wrap-up to say, or to read.
Mr. Wright, I am at a loss for words. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Maggie.
I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago, but now I feel like I can forgive him.
Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick. I'm in the doorway. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Wait!
Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, yeah? Congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then?
Huh? Oh. Well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Wait up, detective. He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle.
That wasn't even of any use.
But
it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles.
Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie, you know, Detective Gumshoe's really been worried about you through all of this.
I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up.
He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts.
He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it.
I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. Oh, the weenies. Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom.
That's...
A present from Detective Gumshoe made with a ton of love. He said that you lost weight and he was worried about you.
Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies, you know?
Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Maybe the weenies are good cold. I don't know.
Is it okay if I eat this now?
So, how is it, Maggie?
It's really good.
So in the case of phony versus genuine... So, hang on. Are you telling me that we had no clarification about the weird... Okay, sorry. And who knows, maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. Oh boy, terror. Okay, we got zero clarification as to all the weird identity issues about Mr. Armstrong's past. That's super not satisfying. Okay. Brand new episode's been added. All right, we're going to start episode 4. I have about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. I'm going to take a stab, even though I know nothing about this case, and say that you like this case because it looks like it's Miles-centric. The girl. Let her go. That looks like that bridge in the Hamtaro game. Ham Heartbreak. Shut up. Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Holy crap. Looks like trauma. Somebody told me this is a pretty short case. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Terry Falls, charged kidnapping and murder, sentenced death penalty. Okay. After escaping, Fowles met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Interesting. 6 years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. So are we playing as Mia again? February 16th, District Court, defendant lobby number 4. I'm so nervous, I feel like I'm gonna die. I never should have accepted this case. Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing, I swear I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls. Falls? Is it because he fell? Falls? I don't know. My first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry. I don't know who's talking. I'm sorry. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Sorry. I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her! She was alive when I left. She was alive. It is true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Is this Godot? Is this Godot without the mask? You're not gonna figure out the truth just by staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where is Mr. Grossberg? That old man's probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Armando. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. I'm confused now. But the facial hair and the double piercing and the striped vest with the armband. I didn't say... So Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? How do you mean fine, Mia? No, you've got it all wrong. Today you're the finest. Oh, you flatter me, sir. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine. An escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. Sure wish I could get out of it, though. Relax. I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. I bet it's Miles. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. I am so confused and curious. The solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. Yeah, don't spoil anything for me, guys. But I'm trying to keep up. Okay, February 16th, 10 a.m. We're definitely only getting a few minutes into this case, but... Yep, hello, Miles. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers for... Wait, hold up. Is this the same judge? In 6 years, he must have had a rough 6 years. I understand the lawyers for both sides of the are newcomers. Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia. You can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Not a spoiler, really, but this is a different judge. Oh, okay. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death? You got it, kitten. Weird pet name in the courtroom, but okay. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor, it was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. A truly horrible crime, I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. A witness testimony? The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be... Exactly. The victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Aha, I see! The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind. To take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha, the truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Fay. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite! Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. What a brat, yeah. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe. Wow. Why can I not... I literally live in the South, and for some reason, the Southern accent I have chosen to give Gumshoe is like the hardest one for me to get. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously, my heart, it's aching for you. Dude! Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. I asked about it, yeah. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir. I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. But if she died from excessive blood loss, I would assume that there'd be at least some sort of trace. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor. If you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I was some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. I feel like right here might be the best place to save this. And then we'll jump into the testimony and cross-examination on the next stream. I don't have a ton of time left. So I think... Let me save again just to be sure. I think this is where we're going to call it for today. But I'm glad that I got through episode 3. Yes. Very happy about that. Thank you. I'm happy to have progression. So the next time I stream, I'm going to be starting the new game, Bust-A-Fellows. So I don't really know much about that game, but I do know it's a visual novel and it's got some mystery elements to it, so I'm excited for that. So that'll be the next thing that we start, and then we'll go back to Ace Attorney. So Should we raid somebody? Let me see. Yeah, Coley is live. We should raid Coley. So here's a raid message. And we will get her started. You're welcome for the stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will see you all very soon. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.